In this video, we'll talk a little bit more about the UI of Unreal Force Editor. So over here on the top, we've got our main tab, and it'll always have the name of our map, which in this case is called High Rise. And the top left, we have the modes window. And this modes window, we'll talk more in depth about this window and its different tools and modes and stuff and how to use this in later videos where we kind of dive into it a little bit further in depth. But it's pretty useful. You'll be using it quite a bit. Then we have the content browser window or panel, which is down here in the lower left part of the UI. And this one's really important. You'll probably be using this content browser about 80–85% of the time while you're working in Unreal. Basically, this houses everything that has to do with all the assets of your game project. So, say for example, environment pieces like trash cans, walls, floors, columns, ceilings, characters, weapons, special effects and particle systems, materials, textures, pretty much everything that makes up your game. And then we can go ahead and have a look at the main viewport here. We're going to go into the main viewport in depth in another video or another set of videos. On the top right, you have the scene outliner. This one's pretty important. You'll probably be using this about 40, maybe 30 to 40% of the time while you're working in Unreal, depending on what style you like to work in. But the scene outliner is pretty useful because everything that's inside of this level right now is shown in the scene outliner. So if I look at the floor piece, I can go ahead and I can see that every single floor piece is named inside of the scene outliner. I can also select this audio cue and I can see it highlighted inside the scene outliner. And then down here in the lower right, we have the details panel. The details panel is really important. You'll probably be using that about 60–75% of the time while working in Unreal. And it's important because whenever you select an item inside of your level, all of its properties will be shown in the details panel. So if I select the floor piece, for example, you can see any material that's associated with that floor piece will be displayed in the details panel. I can also see information about collision, rendering physics, its transform values, what static mesh is being used for this, etc., etc. So those are pretty much the main items of the UI, and we'll be talking more about the level editor in other videos where we'll go more in depth about this stuff.